Hey, what is up? Welcome back to another video. So for you guys today is a battle mage build. I already have the silver from my other account and a master trader backpack, and we're going to head over into the first trainer that's going to be necessary for this build. Now, unlike many of my other builds, it's a lot more loose. The armor is probably more important than the traders themselves, but this guy is pretty necessary for it because a lot of this build is dependent on the elemental infusions and being able to send them out or shoot them. So it's going to be important. You can choose either ice or fire. I chose fire for this build. And then obviously you want to use that. You don't have to get into shield stuff unless you have the extra silver. I'm not going to be using shields, so I just decided not to. After you learn everything from the trainer, you're going to head towards the conflux chamber in order to get some mana into your system. Now, you may be thinking, why are you not using more than 1 point into mana? And the reason we're doing this is because we're going to have 100% mana reduction by the end of this with our armor and our backpack. And I know a lot of people have been doing this. It is by far the best current mage strategy in order to keep casting without wasting any mana at all. Now, before you leave the conflux chamber, I would advise going down to this I think he's a watcher, one of the watchers. You want to go down to him and actually ask him if he can train you.
Magic is the weapon.
Now, what he's going to give you is a cold boon, which will be useful for the ice infusions. And even though I chose fire infusion, it's still useful if I'm being attacked by some ice mages or whatever. So after leaving the conflux, you're going to head towards the city burg in the forest, and you want to go to the sage in order to learn what he has to offer. So you're going to learn all of his spells, and then you're going to want to copy what I did for the passive tree. So we ended up learning, obviously, the beginning too, because you have to. And instead of learning the more powerful spells, we're going to learn the offhand spells, because we're going to be holding a staff the entire time, and you can't have the book out if you want to have 100% mana reduction. Once you learn what you have to in the city, you want to either head towards the Hollowed Marsh or Levant. The reason you're doing this is because the Hollowed Marsh has some trainers with some decent abilities, but the trainer you want to learn the passives from is actually going to be in Levant. You'll understand more what I mean when I actually go to the trainers. But before we go to the trainers, we're actually going to stop by a vendor, not this dude, the mage dude, because he has some useful items like a staff I can buy, some armor pieces. Now, these are not the armor pieces we're going to be using at the end. They can just help you until we get the armor pieces, because you are going to have to face a boss before you get the armor pieces necessary to complete this build. So if you want to stock up on some stuff, then feel free. Also, before you leave the Hollowed Marsh, there's one other dude besides the trainers you want to talk to, because he can give you a light boon, which is going to be important if you want to get the electric attribute onto your weapon. We're going to talk to this trainer, not because we want to learn your passives, just because he has some skills that you do not need a passive to learn, like the magic ward. And that's the only thing we're going to learn from this guy, because we already have the sigil of fire learned from the conflux chamber. But we're going to learn the ward because it makes you invincible for a couple seconds, and it's pretty useful if you can time it correctly. With the monk, you're going to learn everything that she has to offer that is not a passive, so that you can get some discipline boon, and also have a different block brace, which is the yellow block at the bottom. It's going to be really useful for your staff and being able to combat some creatures without your magic, or to get a discipline boon by blocking. It's going to be really useful. Now, for the last thing to do in Monsoon, you still have one more thing to do in the Hollowed Marsh, but the last thing to do in Monsoon, you want to go to this dude that I was talking about earlier. He's going to give you something that will award you a light boon, and it will allow you to get the lightning attribute if you have the skill necessary.
It's never safe out there. Listen to me.
There we go. We have learned it. And then that's all you have to do in the city. You still have something else to do in the Hollowed Marsh, but we're going to head to Levant before we do that, just so we have a extra skill. That's going to be really helpful for the big fight in the Hollowed Marsh.
What can I do?
We are currently in Levant, in the slums, talking to the rogue trainer. He's not hard to find. Levant is actually in the desert, and it's the only city in the desert, so if you're trying to look for where to find this guy, that's where you find them. And you're going to want to learn all of his passives because he has the backpack roll and some other things that are going to be helpful for this build. Once you're done with this in Levant, you're going to head all the way back to the Hollowed Marsh. And I know you're going back to where you just were, but it was in order to learn the skill. And we are currently in the Spire of Light, which is the giant like crystal thing in the sky in the Hollow Marsh. You'll be able to see it anywhere. And also you can just look on the map and get to it. Now this area is pretty difficult. You're gonna want to come prepared, and you're gonna have to face a boss by the end of it. So just follow what I do. You're gonna want to go through and, you know, unlock all the teleporters. You make your way up towards the top. Even though my build is not nearly complete, in terms of skills and stuff, I mean, it's getting there. But with the armor, I don't have a single armor piece that I'm going to need. The only thing I keep is the staff, and it's not even the best staff. You can get much better stuff. But I'm still able to do a decent amount of damage. I'm able to combat these guys pretty easily. I just stay distant from them, fire my fireballs at them. You know, even at close range, I'm able to do a decent amount of damage to them. I mean, right now my staff is pretty much broken, so the amount of damage I'm doing is very minuscule, but I mean, I'm still able to get close range, and because I have a lot of stamina and health, and didn't put a lot of stamina and health into mana, because the mana is going to be 100% reduction, I'm able to, you know, fight close range as well, and it's pretty nice to be able to do that. You can see I'm doing like 0 damage right now because my staff is nearly broke. I'm able to finish that guy off, and now we're gonna head up towards the top so we can face the Light Mender. This boss I found a little underwhelming because his move is so predictable. He only has 3 moves he really uses. If you're, you know, I mean, he has a close range, like swinging his thing. He has this electric spear, and then he has the electric balls, which you can easily just dodge through. So, as long as you know what his moves are, it's not going to be too difficult. Also, I came prepared and had a bunch of elemental resistance potions. I also had the light boon that I'd gotten from Monsoon, which I showed you guys. If you use that skill, you're able to have a lot more lightning resistance. You also got the arcane skills, where we were able to get some more resistance from the second trainer that we went to. And just overall, it wasn't a hard battle. I just kept my distance, I used my element against his, did a lot of damage per hit, and then I just rushed in once in a while. With the dodge that I had from the rogue trainer, I can easily just avoid. I also used a magic ward there, right before the lightning hit me, so it did 0 damage. And even though he's hitting me with a decent amount of shot, they're all doing little to no damage at all. So I'm able to finish him off here real quick. Just dodge that, and one last shot. He's dead, and I came out with pretty much full HP. Once you beat the Light Mender, he's going to give you some resources you can get. I think 3 resources. And then he's also going to give you his armor pieces the first time you beat him. So these are going to be what are used as your armor throughout the entire build. Like, you got your full set there. That's all you need. You're going to have the helmet that gives you 30, and then it's going to give you 20 from the chest piece, and then 20 for the boots. So overall, you're going to have 70 from the armor set alone, and then with the staff, it's going to make 90. So all you need is the backpack, and the only backpack that gives you a mana reduction is the Light Mender's back. Now, luckily, we're actually in the area that you can obtain the quest for the Light Mender's backpack. So what you want to do is, well, first you might want to clear out these guys because they're annoying, and I ended up just doing that. But if you look in the back, there's a little blue lamp looking thing, and there's a bunch of them inside of this area. Now what you want to do is go up to the switches and just pull them. That's all you have to do. Just go through, pull all the switches, and once you do that, you're gonna see that the lightning shield around one of the I mean, it's just a shield or whatever. It's gonna pretty much disappear, and once it disappears, you're gonna be able to grab this weird ruin thing. Yeah. The quest doesn't start yet, though. All you have to do is leave the palace, and once you do that, you're gonna find this ghost dude, and the ghost dude's gonna be like, do this quest, and you're gonna want to do the quest, and once you complete it, you're gonna get the Light Mender's backpack. So that's all there is to that. After going through this stupid quest and obtaining the Light Mender's backpack, I am now able to cast any magic ability for 0 mana, and you know, it's pretty sick because I can use all the fireballs I want, all the magic wards I want. The only thing I have to worry about is the cooldown, and I mean, I have unlimited magic pretty much. And I know a lot of people have been doing this type of build, but the way I did it with it's sort of a elemental attack battle mage type person, I really enjoy the battle style with this guy. You're able to go close range and long range, and it's pretty sick. So you can see me casting some spells, and I have 0 reduction on mana. So here are the passives that I ended up with. You should end up with the same passives, because if you went to the right trainers, then you're going to have everything I have. You can also cast all the ruins, like I'm doing currently, without having the book, because of one of the passives. Anyway, that is it for this build. If you enjoyed, then please hit the like button, sub if you haven't already subbed, and turn the notification bell on if you want to see more of these types of videos in the future. Also, if you have any ideas for future builds, I would be happy to look at the comments and read them, because I am lost. I have no more ideas. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.